When President Trump's national security team came to his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida on Monday, they weren't expecting him to approve an operation to kill General Qasem Soleimani. The problem is that climate change is something that humans don't deal with because we don't deal with, like, delayed punishment very well. You have the hottest food takes. How do you feel about wings? Oh, I got two important ones. Oh my God. I had the craziest, weirdest dream. How Trump made the decision to kill Suleimani. Let's read this. When President Trump's national security team came to his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida on Monday, they weren't expecting him to approve an operation to kill General Qasem Soleimani. Secretary of State Michael R. Pompeo, Defense Secretary Mark Esper, and General Mark Milley, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, had gone to Palm Beach to brief Trump on airstrikes the Pentagon had just carried out in Iraq and Syria against Iranian-sponsored Shiite militia groups. Real quick, can somebody give me, like, is there like a diagram that lays out how these people answer to each other? Because I really don't know. Like, in terms of, like, Secretary of State, Defense Secretary Mark Esper, and General Mark Milley. So the general should answer to Trump, right? Because Trump is but there's got to be, like, does the general go through the Defense Secretary? The Joint Chiefs of Staff is military. They answer to the Defense Secretary. Okay. So Mark Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, this is all military shit, would answer to the Defense Secretary Mark Esper, who answers to Trump, who is our commander-in-chief. And then the Secretary of State is like, is the person that manages the State Department, right? That's what Hillary Clinton was under Obama, which is arguably the most important role to fill in government besides, like, the president, right? Chief of Staffs is probably the most important. Really? I thought the Secretary of State was a pretty important meme. The National Command. Okay, so President, Secretary of Defense, Joint Chiefs of Staff, Unified Commands, military departments, all answer to the Secretary of Defense. Secretary of State Michael R. had gone to Palm Beach to brief Trump on airstrike. Okay. One briefing slide shown to Trump listed several follow-up steps the U.S. could take, among them targeting Soleimani, the head of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps' elite's Quds Force, according to a senior U.S. official familiar with the discussions, who was not authorized to talk about the meeting on the record. Unexpectedly, Trump chose that option, the official said, adding that the president's decision was spurred on in part by Iran hawks among his advisors. That meant the Pentagon suddenly faced the daunting task of carrying out Trump's orders. The first hint that further U.S. action was possible came only minutes after the end of the meeting with Trump. In our discussion today with the president, we discussed with him other options that are available, Esper told reporters, and I would note also that we will take additional actions as necessary. Soleimani wasn't mentioned publicly as a possible target, but behind the scenes, Trump's decision set off a furious effort by the Pentagon, CIA, and others to locate the Iranian general and put in place military assets to kill him. Soleimani wasn't mentioned publicly as a possible target, but behind the scenes, Trump's decision set off a furious effort by the Pentagon, CIA, and others to locate the Iranian general and put in place military assets to kill him. U.S. intelligence agencies, which had been tracking Soleimani for years, knew he was on an extended Middle East trip that had taken him to Lebanon and Syria. He'd be flying into Damascus to Baghdad within days, they learned. He seemed unusually unconcerned about covering his tracks, officials noted. He was traveling from Syria to Baghdad on a flight that was not secret. Iranian officials said Friday, ostensibly for meetings with Iraqi officials. But U.S. officials claimed Friday that Soleimani's trip had a more nefarious purpose. He was in the final stages of planning major attacks against U.S. facilities in several Middle Eastern countries, they said. He was personally going to a few locations for final planning authority for what we assessed to be something big, said the officials, who briefed reporters under ground rules that didn't allow them to be identified. The specific targets were unclear, and officials declined to describe the evidence that backed up their assessment. He had already been linked to a December 27th rocket attack that killed an American military conductor near Kirkuk, Iraq. The days before Soleimani arrived in Baghdad, U.S. officials blamed him for orchestrating violent protests at the U.S. Embassy compound in Baghdad. Senior State Department officials said new intelligence indicated Soleimani was plotting attacks on American diplomats, military personnel, and facilities that house Americans in Lebanon, Syria, and Iraq. There was a consensus in the president's national security cabinet that the risk of doing nothing was unacceptable given the intelligence and given the effectiveness that Soleimani presents, the official said. When Soleimani arrived in Baghdad on Thursday, a U.S. drone and other military aircraft were circling near Baghdad International Airport. Soleimani and several members of a pro-Iranian military got into two vehicles and were riding on the airport road toward downtown Baghdad when missiles fired from the drone struck. Both vehicles were engulfed in flames. According to Iraqi officials, rescuers identified Soleimani's body among the casualties by the blood-red ring he always wore that was still attached to his ash-covered left hand. Wow. Do you think Australians and other non-American countries are going to push for greener policies now?
Did you see the trailer Iran made for World War III?
Nope. So I'll say this because a lot of people don't understand this. So the problem is that climate change is something that humans don't deal with because we don't deal with like delayed punishment very well at all. It's very, 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 very hard for us to conceptualize it. That's why a lot of us don't eat healthy. That's why a lot of us don't exercise. It's because the rewards from that behavior are oftentimes delayed by weeks or months or years. So pollution is an externalized effect. It's not accounted for economically. We don't pay a greater amount of dollars for it. And the costs to that are diffused throughout other environments, sometimes other parts of the world, and the effects are felt in the future, right? So we don't feel them immediately either. Like, all of this comes together to make it so that basically we're not biologically equipped to recognize something like climate change as a threat. It requires a very cognitive process. It requires a lot of work to deal with it, and it's going to require sacrifice now to deal with it too. So this is my bullshit opinion. I'm not backing this up with anything, but just like the gut feeling that I have from what I've seen is that I don't think climate change can be dealt with green energy, with green jobs, with green blah, 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 blah. Maybe in the far future it can, but I think that those things are just one component of it, maybe 50% of it. The other 50% is going to come from a curb in aggregate energy demand. That means driving less, not using as much energy, doing a ton of random shit, not having as much fucking shit on all the fucking time, like an actual decrease in the amount of energy we consume. Like, that's what's going to, like, if there was, like, a good path forward, like, that would probably be it. That would be my guess. So the only way we're going to start taking climate change seriously, maybe, is when if, like, countries start to fail as a result of it, or when states start to fail in the U.S. as a result of it. So, for instance, like, if Australia, like, legitimately becomes uninhabitable, I think that would make a lot of people be like, I don't think that would actually be enough, though. Maybe, like, people in New Zealand would be like, fuck, this is some bullshit, as all the Australians fly over. But, like, in the U.S., it's going to be when, like, when certain spots in, like, Miami become, like, uninhabitable and stuff like that, when our coasts start to get, like, flooded more. Extreme weather events won't do it because weather is weather, and people understand. People won't care about one-off weather events, even if they have gotten worse. So, yeah.
Hey, Bucko.
Is this like an anti-climate change website or something? I have heard, though, that, like, not allowing brush fires to occur naturally would be bad. But I don't know if people are, like, trying. I don't know if, like, people, like, try to stop that wholesale. The brush fires are, like, a natural process for, like, for like, forests, like, getting rid of, like, brush that, like, forest fires do happen in nature. Like, lightning strikes or whatever during storms and shit, like, cause excess brush to be burned off. But I don't know if, like, climate change people are actually stopping that to, like, a noticeable level or not. They could be. I'm not sure. I haven't heard that before. You have the hottest food takes. How do you feel about wings? Oh, I got two important ones. Two very important ones when it comes to wings. Ready? Number one, don't get your wings in a sauce and then dip them in another sauce. Get these ranchers out of here, okay? Ranchers out. Blue cheesers out, okay? Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? Ranchers and blue cheeses out. You're gonna get... Oh, okay. Had to slam that part real quick. If you're gonna get a fucking wing with a sauce, okay? Eat it with the sauce. You want it covered in fucking rancher blue cheese, then fucking cover it in rancher blue cheese, okay? Don't get a sauce on it and then combine it. That's not right. Second one, now, I'm not as married to this one. This is a personal preference. I'm a drums only kind of guy. No, I'm sorry, flats only. I only like flats, okay? If I go to a place, first thing I ask them, can I get all flats? Don't give me any of that dumbass drum shit. However, important qualifier, okay? This one, I'm going to okay, this is a very rare Destiny emotional take. This take has no good reason. It just is, okay? People who life hack their food to eat it in the most optimal way are weird. Don't be that guy, okay? That means if you want to eat a goddamn chicken wing, okay? Just fucking tear into it. Don't
Ranchers
do the thing
rise
where
up.
like, oh, well, if you break it apart in here, then everything slides off in a perfectly optimal blah, blah. Don't do that shit, okay? Don't be the guy who's like, well, if you eat an apple from the very top, actually, it's like the most optimal way of blah, blah. Don't be that guy, okay? Fuck out of here. Just eat shit like a normal goddamn person, okay? Or else Destiny's gonna break out the strawman voice. Okay? You're gonna get fucked. It's actually easier to eat the banana from the bottom of the banana. Don't do that shit, okay? Fuck out of here. Sometimes I don't want to dirty my hands eating wings. Fuck off. If you don't want to dirty your hands eating wings, don't eat wings. Order something else, you dumb fuck. Somebody ban that guy. RTVA, take care of him. Bone in or bone out? The bone in or bone out question doesn't make any sense. Now, if you want to ask me, do I prefer chicken wings or chicken tenders? That's a question. We can talk about that, but bone out wings? I don't know what a bone out wing is. You're probably talking about chicken tenders, but for some reason you think you're talking about some type of, I don't know. You got confused somewhere. It's okay. Dude, Indian food? Fuck yeah. I'll eat almost any Indian dish. Almost any Indian food. I wish I knew the names more, but I just order whatever. Samosas? Are those like the fried vegetable dumpling things? Those things are good. Like the rice or potato vegetable cakes that are fried are really good. I love chicken vindaloo. That's my favorite dish. Chicken tikka masala or whatever is fucking good. Almost like any fucking, all the vegetable shit in Indian food is really good.
I just got back from seeing that Uncut Gems movie. I thought you were bullshitting, but that movie had me on the edge of my fucking seat. Holy shit. Bonus meme that Julia Chick had a tremendously fat ass.
How do you feel about fries with ranch? It's okay. I like dipping my fries in either ranch or buffalo sauce. Some type of spicy sauce. You know what I would never waste my time dipping fries in? Fucking ketchup.
Where
Ever.
did it all go wrong? How did it end up like this? Let's work on fixing it together.
I'm going to show you why I would be a great leader, okay? There's a rift right now between us. People are very strongly divided on their ketchup takes, okay? We got a lot of people that are pro-ketchup. We got a lot of people that are anti-ketchup. Now, anti-ketchup is the correct call, all right? I'm sorry. I know that makes you feel bad, but ketchup is shit. It just is. You only eat it because you want your food to be moist, okay? It's flavorless, disgusting shit. Now, there are a lot of anti-ketchupers in here that are pretty mad at my take right now. But all of us can come together and agree to shit on people that dip their french fries in fucking mayonnaise. What in the flying fuck is wrong with you, you disgusting fucks? Get the mayoites out of here. Oh my god. When they were talking about a mayo side, they needed to be more literal, okay? Because the mayo allegiant people are fucking disgusting. Ketchup in the fridge or ketchup in the cupboard? As Americans, we put a lot of stuff in the fridge that other people don't put in the fridge. Our butter usually goes in the fridge. Some of you fucks don't. Our eggs go in the fridge. For some of you fucks, it doesn't. I've seen milk in a box out of the fridge, I think, in Germany before. I don't know how normal that is. However, some Americans put a little bit too much in the fridge, okay? Fucking bread does not go in the goddamn refrigerator. What in the fuck kind of gross ass shit is that? I don't want cold ass bread for a fucking ham sandwich. I don't need cold bread. What the fuck is wrong with you? If I go into someone's house and I see bread in the fridge, you know what? I put on the moves. I stay the night so that I can take all the bread out and I fucking hide that shit around the house so that it thaws, because bread doesn't deserve to be in the fridge like that, okay? If you have bread in the fridge somewhere, if you see bread in the fridge, it is your obligation as an American to remove it from the fridge. Bread is always better toasted. Is there ever a time where bread is better not toasted? I think bread there is an ascension to bread where it just gets better. Normal bread is okay. Toasted bread, it's just ascended bread. It's always better. I'm talking about like loaves of bread, okay? Toasted bread is ascended and it's better. And then fried bread, like if you put it in a frying pan or in a cast iron or whatever and you grill it, is always better. It's like the levels of bread ascension. If we could choose, we would always fry the bottom side of our bread in either a pan or a flat top or whatever, every time. It might just be the places where I've lived, but it seems to be that in America, bakeries are not really that popular compared to Europe. When I've been to Germany and France especially, seem to have bakeries fucking everywhere. I don't think I saw as many in Poland or in London, but I was in London, maybe outside of in other places in the UK, or in Sweden. But in Germany and France, they have fucking bakeries everywhere. Holy shit. Okay, you should be able to get an easy 3 or 4 at least. You should be able to eat to the bone, and then a little bit to the sides. I'd say I'd say I'm a good 4. I would hope to be. Although drums are shit. These top barts suck to eat. They're usually natty, gristly, fatty pieces of garbage. Fuck this. Ugh. Oh my god. I had the craziest, weirdest dream. I had a dream that we were living in Vancouver, and the outside area was like, you know, like the Metro games, like everything was like toxic and you couldn't really go outside. Or I guess you could, because people walked there for a little bit, but everybody lived underground. And I was like hanging out with Tabor, and we decided that we needed to take a shower, I guess. But when we went, he showed me, like, I guess the NFL had like their own underground place too. And when we went down to take a shower, everybody there was like lines of people trying to get like me and Tabor's autograph in the shower. And then I started to do a podcast while I was like showering, but it was really annoying because all these people kept trying to do autographs. And then I found out that the reason why Tabor brought me there was because he told his friends that if they went to meet him in the NFL lockers, they could get me to sign stuff for him while I was trying to do a podcast at the same time. I don't know who he was talking to. It was really fucking weird. It was really stupid too. McConnell doesn't really kill bills in the Senate so much as like they wouldn't pass anyway. There's not enough votes. Technically, I think the Senate Majority Leader can choose which bill.